My name is Daniel Wynn, and by day I invest in sports cards, but by night I make videos about investing in sports cards. I am the great curator. Join me on my journey to break even in the hobby that we all love.
Hello YouTube, I'm the Great Curator and welcome to my channel. If this is the first time that you guys are visiting, thank you so much for stopping by. The reason I make these videos is for education. This is my fun, creative way to kind of give back to the community by sharing my opinions, my perspective, my insight with you guys on these topics and issues that I like to discuss. It's also a way for me to kind of use the YouTube platform to spread my message of positivity and civility within the hobby. I believe that if we come together as a community and we set a very high standard of civility and conduct that we all have to follow, and we hold each other accountable to that, we can weed out all these bad actors that we keep seeing in the hobby. Guys, if we do that, the community will be stronger, the hobby will grow, and the values of our cards will rise. That's my mission statement. That's what I believe. If you guys agree with that or you want to support my message, please help do that by just subscribing, sharing, liking these videos. That really helps me out. That encourages me to continue to make these videos for you guys, okay? All right, now that's got out of the way. Before we get into the topic of discussion today, I want to do a couple things. Number one is I want to recap the San Francisco Bay Area show, but I also want to take a minute to just acknowledge one of my followers, a friend of mine on Instagram. His name is Staff of Dawn. I'll put the Instagram right here. He wrote me this like really cool note saying how he appreciates these videos that I'm making, and he sent me a couple cards just for fun. These Marvel sketch cards. I'll put pictures right here. Super cool, super nice gesture, and this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is why I make these videos, so that I spread this message of positivity, and when people reach out to me and they tell me how much it resonates with them and how much they appreciate it, man, I love that, guys. I really do appreciate that. That's so cool. For him to reach out and for him to take the time to send me this little gift, that means a lot to me. So if you're watching this, Dom, thank you so much. If you guys want to see some really cool Marvel cards, go follow him on Instagram. Really cool guy. Okay, let's talk about the San Francisco show, okay? As I make this video, I just got back from the San Francisco show this past weekend, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys just a quick recap. Hopefully you've watched the vlog that I've already made on that, but I'll give you a quick recap on the details, why I think you should go to the show, my thoughts on the show, and then we'll get into the topic of discussion. So, real quick here, the San Francisco Bay Area show, if you've never been there before, very cool show. I had a great time, guys. I had a great time. That was my first time there. The activity was really high there. The crowd was good. The vibe was really cool. I got a lot of great deals done, which I'll tell you guys about. But overall, very positive experience. I would highly recommend anybody, if you get a chance, try to go to that show. Here's the details real quick here. I think it happens every 3 months, so it's not like oversaturated. It doesn't get stale. Happens like only 4 times a year, so it's really cool. Very big show. I think it's under 200 tables, but I expect that to grow. From the activity that I saw there, I expect it to grow. Maybe it can be more than that, maybe 300 tables. I think that would be really cool. But a very good size show. It's multi-day, 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. So that's good. If you're traveling from out of town, that's going to make it worth your while to go there. It's run by a father and son. I'll put their Instagram right here, Classic Material Collectibles, Ray. He's the guy who runs it. Very cool guy. They're very on top of their communications in terms of when you ask them questions, they'll respond right away. They give clear instructions if you're setting up or if you're attending. So they're very organized. I like that. There is a trade night attached to the show, which could be a little bit better, but it's there, so that's good. And then the location is super convenient too. It's right next to the San Francisco airport, so if you're flying in, super convenient. You just take an Uber to the hotel. The hotel is like literally right next to the convention center. It's like a 5-minute walk from the elevator to the convention floor, so that's really convenient, guys. Good location, nice, safe area, plenty of parking, clean hotel, all that good stuff. The traffic there, the crowd getting in there, they advertised it very well, so there was a large crowd there. One thing I want to say too about the crowd, the Bay Area crowd, guys, this is like my second time kind of experiencing the Bay Area crowd. I know I have a lot of subscribers and viewers that are from the Bay Area. man, those guys are cool. I like the Bay Area vibe. Okay, I got a lot of love for the Bay Area community. Those people are nice. They know their stuff. They got good cards out there. They're friendly. They respectful when they deal with you, and they're willing to deal. So a lot of love for the Bay Area crowd. Special shout out to a couple cool people that I met up there. A guy that sat next to me, Lousy Pools. He always comments on my Instagram, so go give him a follow. What I call him the official mayor of the Bay Area card community, the card professor, a friend of mine. So cool guy. He knows everybody. He's like my unofficial hype man. He knows everybody there. He'll introduce you. He's so helpful. So give him a follow. He puts out a lot of really good content. His name's Manson. And then my table mate, my friend Brian, you know him, Sunday League investor. I shared a table with him. He just moved to the Bay Area from Tampa, Florida. So welcome him there. Give him a follow if you don't follow him already. But if you follow me, then you follow him because he's big time. Okay, Sunday League investor, soccer guy. But overall, great experience. So I do highly recommend, if you have the time, you can go travel. If you have the means to pay for the expenses, go check out that show. It only happens every 3 months or so. It is a destination show. It's not on the level of like Dallas yet, but give it time. I think it can get there. What those people are doing there to organize that show, very good stuff. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's talk about today's topic, which is how to find the best opportunities at the show. What I call the best opportunities, which is often always overlooked, guys, okay? The best opportunities happen at the end of the show, in my opinion, okay? The best opportunities happen at the end of the show. I call this the gold digging hour. The gold digging hour, guys, okay? Because you gotta walk around, you gotta look for those little pockets of gold, and when you see that little glimmer from that card that you've been looking for, that you overlooked, you gotta dig it up. You gotta dig it up. So that's the gold digging hour, guys, okay? Let me tell you about why it's a good opportunity. Then I'm gonna tell you a couple ways to approach the deal, and then I'll give you a case study of what I just did in San Francisco, all right? All right, so first thing, I'll give you 3 reasons why the gold digging hour is great for opportunities. Okay, number 1 is if you walked around the show either at the beginning or in the middle of the show, the inventory changes, guys. You have to realize that the inventory at a show changes. Cards consistently pass from table to table throughout the show. People are buying, trading. You know, you may go to a table at the beginning of the show, but the inventory could look different at the end of the show. So you've got to make your last rounds to see if there's anything there that that has changed, okay, that you haven't seen before, okay? Number 2, even if nothing has changed, there's a good chance that you overlooked some things, okay? Unless you're really detail oriented and you've got eagle eyes where you can go see every card at every table, chances are there's something that you had overlooked before. So you're going around at the last hour, that's your last chance to go around, see what everybody has, okay? Because you may have overlooked something, they may have shifted it around where you didn't see it before or whatever, but it's your last chance to see what inventory is on the floor, okay? Even if it's changed from table to table, it's your last chance to see what is there at that show, okay? And then the third reason it's a good opportunity is because dealers are very motivated to move things, okay? Maybe they've had a card that they were not able to sell the entire show, so this is their last chance to sell that card. Maybe they wanted to make a sale or they wanted to pick up a certain card. This is their last chance to do that. So they're very motivated to do a deal at the end of the show. Plus, guys, they want to go home with a win. Everybody wants to go home with a win. It doesn't matter if it's a small win or a big win. When you're packing up your stuff, if you got that last chance to make a deal where you can go home with a little bit of cash in your pocket, or you can get rid of some cards or that you didn't want anymore, or you can pick up a really cool card, you want that win. You're going to be motivated to do that deal, guys. So that's why there's a lot of opportunities at the end of the show, okay? The gold digging hour is what I call it. Okay, so let me tell you how you need to approach this, because it's a little bit different from what I usually do when I'm at a show, okay? Because at the end of the show, there's a couple things you have to factor in. Number 1 is they're closing, so you've got a time limit, okay, on how much time you can spend on the deal. So you got to work against that clock, okay? And then number 2, you don't want to waste somebody's time. If they're packing up, you don't want to spend half an hour on a deal only to not get something done, okay? So you got to be sure that you see a card, you can go in there and you can execute and you can close that deal so that it's worthwhile for both parties, okay? So this is how you do it. At the end of the show, you're walking around. What I usually do is I have the cards that I want to move in my hand so that I show people, and usually they'll ask me about it, but I'll walk around with the cards that I want to move in my hand, and I'll walk around and I'll be looking to see if I can target any cards that I want, all right? And if I do see a card that I want, I'll approach the dealer very politely, and I'll ask them, usually they're packing up at this time. One more thing I'll say too. The reason there's so much opportunity at the end of the show is because people don't stay till the end of the show. A lot of people pack up and leave early, so you have less competition too, but I'll touch on that at the end, okay? Anyways, so you go up to the dealer and you ask him, hey, you want to work a deal? I know you're packing up, or at the end of the show, do you want to try to work a deal? They will always say yes. Unless they've got to run and catch a flight somewhere or something like that, they will always say yes, guys, okay? So you go up to them politely, ask if they want to do a deal, and then you just engage them in conversation. Before you get into the details of whatever card you want, don't be so transactional about it, guys, okay? You've got to really try to build that rapport. Don't just say, hey, I want this for this price, and then they're going to say no. Instead, you just start to ask them questions. Hey, how's the show going for you? Did you pick up anything good? Ask them about a certain card. You want to engage them in conversation, because what you're doing is you're going to build a rapport with them. The more you engage them in conversation, the better the rapport is between you guys, then the more likely a deal will form out of that, and the more likely they'll be willing to be flexible or negotiate with you, okay? Don't be so transactional where you just say, I'll give you X amount of dollars for this, yes or no, okay? Don't give them yes or no answers like that, guys. Engage them in conversation. Use the skills that I've been teaching in my other videos about etiquette, about deal making, about how to approach people, all that stuff. I give you all these little tools in my videos so that you can put it in your tool bag and you can use it at these shows. They're all designed to be put together, guys. I'm trying to teach you guys a skill set where you can combine all these things and you can apply them at these shows, okay? So do that. Engage them in conversation, then let the deal form out of that. And I guarantee you guys, if the conversation is going well, the deal will form from that. And you never know where the deal can go. It can be all cash, it can be all trade, it can be cash trade, my favorite thing to do. It can be a small deal, it can be a big deal. You don't know. You just have to kind of see where the conversation goes, okay? But I promise you that if you engage them in conversation, okay, and you show them that you're serious in making a deal, something will form out of that, because they want to go home with a win, guys, okay? All right, so now that I told you guys how to do it, let me give you a case study of what I just did at this past show. Okay, so at the San Francisco show, it's the last hour there. I'm walking around with my cards. I see a guy that I've known. His name is Dan. I don't have his Instagram, so if you're watching this, message me, okay? So I can get your Instagram. But I saw Dan. I went up to him. I said, hey, do you want to try to do a deal? He said, yes, of course, right? So I identified the card that I wanted, which he had this Peacock Choice Kamavinga card. Some of the guys were talking about it earlier in the day. I never had one before, so I kind of wanted to get in on the action. I asked him if he wanted to try to move it. He said yes, of course. So as I'm engaging him in conversation, trying to tell him, or trying to ask him, hey, how'd you do at the show? What did you think? All that stuff. He's looking through my stack of cards to see what he wanted to pull out. He happened to pull out the cards that I really wanted to move, the Magic Eminence, LeBron Trio Rookie, and a Rock Atomic Refractor, okay? So he pulled out those three cards. Those three cards, I valued those personally. I was high on them, but I valued them at about $4,000. The Peacock Choice card valued about $1,200. So initially I went in just thinking I'd do a straight trade. He made the deal bigger. All right, so this is why I tell you guys, the deals can form any which way. You never know. That's why you just have to try. He made the deal bigger, so what I had to do is I had to kind of match that value, because he didn't want to put cash towards me, okay? I would have loved cash, but he didn't want to do it. So I was looking around his case, and I pull out a LeBron Chrome BGS 8.5. Boom. Okay, still a little bit off on the value. His value is about 35, something like that. My value is still at 4. So I asked him, do you want to put cash in? He said no. So what I did is I said, do you want to make the deal a little bit bigger, guys? And he said yes. So that's what I'm saying. The deals can form any which way. So what I did is I'm looking around and I pulled out a Steph Curry Topps rookie that he had. Boom, pull that out. Suddenly it's a $5,000 deal now. Okay, but he was hesitant to give that up. He didn't want to give up a Curry and a LeBron, because those are very desirable, very liquid cards for the cards that I had. So this is where the art of the deal takes place, guys, okay? And this is what I talk about in all my videos, okay? I pulled out I pulled out my special trick of the cash trade deal. I said, okay, we're a little bit off. How about this? How about I give you cash on top? And once I said that, guys, his eyes, it piqued his interest. And then once I offered him $1,500 cash on top of that, his eyes lit up, okay? Because he gets to go home with new cards, he gets to get rid of some cards, and he gets to go home with cash, okay? That is a win for him. For me, I get 2 really desirable cards that I wanted, and to get rid of some cards that I wanted to move out of, okay, guys? And that's how the deal formed. And it was so cool because, you know, we had to fill it in with some parts. I gave him a Charizard on top of that, and then he gave me like a Kareem, flawless auto, and a crypto card. So we can't, you know, we had to fill it in a little bit, but basically the deal was done at that point. Once I offered him the cash, it was a done deal. Okay, my total value on what I see those cards at was probably about $6,000. The value that I was giving up plus the cash for my cost basis wise was about 55, so that's a win for me. I don't know what he necessarily valued those cards at, but probably something similar, so that it was a win for him. But both sides went home happy, guys, and we were the last ones there. We closed out the show. It took us about half an hour to do this deal, but we were the last ones there, and we got the deal done. And for me, it turned out to be my biggest deal of the entire show. So that's why I love staying till the end. I love trying to work those last minute deals during the gold digging hour, guys. Takeaways from this video, I would encourage you guys all, if you can, stay till the end of the show and try to work those deals, because you never know what will form, and this is a perfect example of that. Okay, guys? So I'm gonna cut this video. This video is running a little bit long, so I'll try to cut this down right now. If you guys got any value out of this, please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. That really helps me out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.